what are your plans for the off season and possibly playing or just doing individual workouts?
Yeah, I mean, probably take a little bit of a break here, just for maybe a week. I don't really want to lose a ton of the stuff I've worked on, and just trying to get my body back to full health. There's some USA basketball stuff I need to.
The backlash surrounding Caitlin Clark and the Team USA roster controversy has exploded into one of the most emotionally charged debates the basketball world has seen in years, because fans believe what started as a simple roster omission may have turned into something far more personal and symbolic behind the scenes. According to swirling rumors and online speculation, Clark was allegedly considered for a lesser alternate-style role before eventually being left off entirely, but what truly ignited outrage was the claim that she would have been asked to wear jersey number 12 instead of her iconic number 22, a number that has become inseparable from her identity, brand, and meteoric rise in women's basketball. To millions of fans, the idea of taking away the number associated with her record-breaking college career, sold-out arenas, and historic popularity felt less like standard team protocol and more like an attempt to humble the biggest new star the sport has seen in decades. Supporters viewed it as symbolic gatekeeping from an old guard determined to protect its hierarchy while forcing the league's newest phenomenon to wait her turn. The rumors intensified when names like Sophie Cunningham began circulating in conversations about players who were allegedly frustrated with how Clark was treated, fueling a growing narrative that not everyone inside the WNBA agrees with the handling of its biggest attraction. Fans pointed to Clark's massive impact on ratings, merchandise sales, attendance, and media attention, arguing that leaving her off the Olympic stage was not only disrespectful but financially reckless for a league that has spent years fighting for mainstream visibility. Critics of the decision also accused the selection committee of prioritizing seniority and comfort over momentum and star power, especially while veterans like Diana Taurasi and Breanna Stewart continued to dominate headlines surrounding the team. Meanwhile, Clark herself added even more fuel to the conversation by refusing to publicly complain, choosing instead to stay silent, continue breaking records, pile up assists and triple-doubles, and let her performances speak louder than the controversy surrounding her exclusion. That silence only made the backlash stronger because supporters felt it exposed the contrast between a player focused purely on basketball and a system they believed was consumed with politics and image control. Whether the jersey number rumor is completely true or partially exaggerated, the emotional reaction surrounding it shows just how powerful Clark's presence has become in the sport. For many fans, she is no longer just another rookie fighting for respect. She represents the future of women's basketball itself, and every perceived slight against her instantly transforms into a larger battle over the direction, culture, and identity of the entire league. 12:47 12 minutes. 47 seconds, the kind of thing that gives players a chip on their shoulder that lasts a lifetime. If this rumor is true, the committee didn't just make the controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark and the rumored Team USA jersey situation exploded into one of the most emotionally charged debates in modern women's basketball, because many fans felt the issue went far beyond a simple roster decision and became symbolic of a larger clash between the league's established veterans and its rapidly rising new generation of stars. Reports and online speculation claimed that before Clark was officially left off the Olympic roster, there were internal discussions about offering her a reduced role while assigning her jersey number 12 instead of her iconic 22, a move critics interpreted as an attempt to minimize her growing influence and force her into the background despite her unprecedented popularity and impact on the sport. To supporters, the number itself represented more than branding, because Clark's identity has become deeply tied to the number 22 through record-breaking performances, sold-out arenas, television ratings, and a surge of new fans entering women's basketball for the first time. The rumors fueled an even bigger narrative that some members of the basketball establishment were uncomfortable with how quickly Clark transformed the attention economy of the WNBA, creating tension between longtime stars who spent years building the league and a rookie whose popularity immediately changed the business side of the sport. In the middle of the controversy, Sophie Cunningham became an unexpected figure in the discussion because reports suggested she privately opposed the way Clark was allegedly being treated, leading many fans to frame the situation not as rookies versus veterans, but as a broader disagreement over respect, opportunity, and the future direction of women's basketball. Supporters argued that leaving Clark off the roster while allegedly asking her to accept a diminished symbolic role felt less like a pure basketball decision and more like an effort to preserve hierarchy and seniority, especially when analysts continued pointing to her elite scoring, passing, and cultural impact. At the same time, defenders of the selection committee insisted Olympic teams are often built around experience, chemistry, and international play rather than popularity alone, emphasizing that veteran stars such as Diana Taurasi and Breanna Stewart had earned their places through years of dominance and championship success. Still, the backlash never slowed because the conversation evolved into something bigger than basketball statistics, becoming a debate about gatekeeping, marketing, ego, and whether the sport was fully embracing the massive wave of attention Clark brought to the league. Fans flooded social media defending her, arguing that the WNBA finally had a transcendent mainstream attraction and should have showcased her on the global Olympic stage rather than risk alienating the audience she helped create. The entire saga ultimately exposed the growing pains of a league caught between honoring the players who built women's basketball and adapting to a new era driven by unprecedented visibility, commercial growth, and generational fandom, ensuring that every future matchup involving Clark, Cunningham, Taurasi, or Stewart would carry an added layer of drama tied to the unresolved tension between the old guard and the rapidly arriving future of the sport.